simulation for test evaluation. So this is also known as a fault simulator basically. Okay, it's a type of simulator, a fault simulator. So which is used for development of a manufacturing test. Okay, manufacturing test. A fault simulator incorporates many of details of a true value simulator. In addition, it also has an capability to simulate the circuit responses in their presence of faults. So this thing, that is what fault simulator has a basic thing, inbuilt thing with the true value simulator. True value simulator in the sense it is going to drive an exact output response from the designed application, from the designed architecture or designed application. It is going to drive an exact output response after simulating the design. So in addition to this, the capability it has to stimulate the circuit responses with the preference of the faulties. So parallelly, what it has to do, it has to check on what were the faulties and what were the circuit responses from each and every design. It has to be verified. So the basic thing of fault simulator incorporates with all these things. One is of true value simulator and the other is of checking out with the circuit responses also. And here we have a small design process, a digital design process for the test evaluation. So firstly, you can see here, we a verified design and a verification input stimuli. So as I said you on, the basic thing, when we come to the design verification, it is represented in two distinct processes. One is of design based on the correctness of design, and other is of verifies the test. Okay, so here also we have our two terms based on the verified design and based on the verification of input stimuli. Okay, input stimuli. So first one, it comes out with verified design netlist. In the case of verified design netlist, so this is going to drive the faulty simulator to a faulty simulator. So what is this faulty simulator in the sense? If there are any faults within the design of circuit, that is to be noted for each and every input connection, input test vector. It is to be noted how many number of faults are identified. How many number of faults are identified, that can be denoted through the fault simulator itself. And for this fault simulator, we have an input from the test vectors. Test vectors in the sense, what were the input for the design? That is, for example, if I have one logic gate over here, the logic gate will be driving with some test vectors, some input patterns. Okay, so those can be sent through the test vectors itself. And for this test vectors, we are going to get the input from the verification input stimuli. Why? Because the verification input stimuli is said to be depending upon the logic, depending upon the time, or depending upon the electrical behavior. It checks based on all these parameters to drive the test vectors. Okay, and these test vectors are going to drive for the fault simulator. If there is any faulty in the design, that at the input side or at the output side, that can be noted at the fault simulator itself. For example, if I have a fault within one 4 input AND gate, okay, something like which is stuck at the faulty is at B input. Okay, if there is a faulty at the B input, what happened? We are going to check on with test comparator. Okay, test comparator. That is what it is. It has to check either the faulty is occurred within that input or not. That is going to drive through the test comparator to check within the test vectors. So with if it is there, if there is any input of any faulty, that is to be identified and it has to be deleted with the vector. So this is said to be as an fault response. So based on the previous response, we'll be identifying the fault and delete it. So as I said you in the previous classes, with the if for example, if you have an 2 input AND gate with stuck at 0 and stuck at 0 of 2 inputs stuck at zeros, and output side is also set to be as a stuck at 0. So based on these two inputs and the comparison with the output, you can delete the two inputs of the logic gate. Why? Because the response of the output is said to be stuck at 0, so that based on the fault equivalence model, we can delete it. So here also, based on the comparison of the test vectors, we can define it for the delete vectors. Okay, delete vectors can be done only with respect to the inputs and the outputs of the design. And when we come to the fault simulator, if there is any additional test vectors or test patterns to be generated, tests to be generated. Okay, so generated in the sense that is what. So this is an case, this is an process which is going to represent a fault simulation. Basically, in the fault simulation, what happened? It is an something like replacing with a new value. For example, if we have a stuck at 0 at one input wire, okay, stuck at 0, the input response can be replaced with the value as 1. Okay, by considering with the logic 1, the stuck at 0 will be neglecting, and the input logic can be sent through the gate, and we'll be finding out what is the response. So that is what the test generator is going to define. If there is any additional requirement of any input logic, so that can be defined through the test generator. Okay, so that is going to type for add vector at the test vector cases. So for this test vector, what happened? This is detected through the fault coverage. Okay, fault coverage. If it is low fault coverage or adequate fault coverage, it is a normal fault or a low fault. Okay, so based on this decision, it is going to try for the test generator. So for this fault coverage, it is going to be it is going to be detected through the list of modeled faults. Okay, list of model faults. So we have different types of model faults. Why? Because we have functional faults or logical faults. So we have different types of faults basically. Based on the what type of model of fault we have, based on that condition, you are going to detect what is the fault coverage, and you are going to identify either it is of low fault or adequate fault. If it is adequate fault, it is going to stop that verification process. If it is of a low fault, it is said to be driving for the test generator to add a new vector or replace a new vector with a new faulty, and check on with the test input vector and drive the faulty fault simulator. So totally, and after checking on this, you are going to remove the tested faults. So if it is listed within the fault, what happened? It is going to check with respect to the simulator itself, fault simulator itself, and remove the tested faults itself. And here, the fault simulator is normally done after the design has been verified, and verified circuit netlist and verification vectors are available. So this fault simulation is normally done with respect to the design itself. Okay, after design is done, it is said to be verified, and also with the verified circuit netlist and verification vectors also. So as I said on, we have two types of fault simulators. Okay, two types of fault simulators. One is of verified design and one is of verification input stimuli. So these two are represented as first one. The first one determines the coverage of given set of input stimuli vectors for a given fault model or a given fault list. So what does that the first input stimuli represent, vector input stimuli represent? Okay, so this is going to detect the coverage of given set of input stimuli vectors and given faults also. Okay, that is what. So what will be the input vectors, and what are the fault models occurred within the fault list that can be detected at the verification of a input stimuli. And the second fault simulator performs with the programs, that is what, a test generator or vector comparator. Okay, based on the test generator or vector comparator, that is what, based on this test generator or vector comparator. So based on these two, this design is going to be verified. Okay, if there is any faulty, if it is compared with the faulty, we can delete it. Okay, if there are n number of faults, we can minimize this faulty. Okay, the minimize process can be done by using with the test comparator, or else if the faulty has to be replaced with some other response, so that can be considered by adding a new vector input, adding a new vector faulty input at the test vector itself. So that is what the keys it represents. So this is going to, it produces a set of vectors which can give a faulty coverage for the manufacturing test. If no fault is listed, is supplied, the fault simulator generates one specified fault model. So if there are no faulties, what happens? It is said to be the fault simulator generates one specified fault model. And here we have one small, we have a basic thing of test pattern generator. Okay, a test pattern generator. So as I said you on, before going for the fault simulator in depth, so we'll be discussing with how the test pattern generators are defined. Okay, so what is a test pattern generator? So to generate a test pattern for a given fault is called as a test pattern generator. So to produce a generator test pattern, so if I have an input AB for this logic circuit with with n number of AND gates, okay, and through one output at the AND gate itself. So within this logic circuit, if I consider A to Z or some inputs, okay, I can define a test vector of with all the sequences. Okay, a test pattern can be generated. Within of this test pattern, if there is any faulty at the input side or at the output side or at the complete output side of the circuit, so that can be represented as a test pattern generator. Okay, so that is what the to generate a test pattern for a given faulty is called as a test pattern generator. So if I treat A is said to be at the faulty stuck at 0, okay, or stuck at 1, so that what happened within this test vector input, I have a faulty at A input, okay, stuck at 0, and it is going to drive a faulty output at the output side. So the test pattern is to be detected, and we are going to define it as a test pattern generator. We have a test pattern with a generator.